Manager at a car dealership learned a lesson. Maybe, many years ago I was in the process of buying a brand new sports car. My dream car. I had wanted this car since I was 12. I was young and in my 20s and wanted to reward myself for some recent business successes. I did the typical test drive at the local dealership, decided on the color, options and so on, and was negotiating the price with the salesman. After that, he told me that they didn't actually have the car with the color and options at the dealership. They had to get it transported from another dealership about 30 miles away. This would take a few days, so would have to wait a week before I could take possession of the new car. I didn't think that was too unreasonable, so I agreed and would come back a week later. We finished the paperwork with the manager, signed everything and was making to leave when I noticed something. They were going to charge me a $150 transportation fee to move the car from the other dealership. They never told me about this additional fee during the negotiation process, so I was a bit frustrated and told them so. For $150 I could go get the car myself. The manager then tells me, "It's too bad, you already signed the contract. You should have been more observant. We can't take the charge off now," with a smug grin on his face and a tone that told me he was very happy about this. I wasn't at all happy and let him know it, but there was nothing I could do at that point. The contract was signed a week later. I came to pick up my new sports car. When I arrived, the same manager came up to me and asked to speak with me in his office. He explained that there was a mistake with the invoice. The car I was buying had all the options on it. It was fully loaded with everything, including what they called a gold package, where the emblem and lettering on the car was in gold instead of the standard silver. He explained that this package came with an additional cost of $400, but they had neglected to add this cost to the invoice. I needed to make up that difference. I didn't even know a gold package was an option. They never mentioned it before. Cue my petty revenge. I smiled my best smug grin and told him, "It's too bad, you already signed the contract. You should have been more observant." I paused a bit to let that sink and then said, "I'm going to pick up my car with the VIN that's on the contract, for the price on the contract," and stood up. He hung his head in defeat, knowing there was nothing he could do about it since he had signed the contract. If he hadn't treated me the way he did a week earlier, I might have considered negotiating a new price, but I felt he deserved to be put in his place. And the revenge was sweet. The charge was one thing, but his attitude was obnoxious. It was only a $250 difference, but the satisfaction was priceless. He handed me the keys and I drove off in my new sports car feeling great. The gold looked better with my color choice than the silver would have anyway.